Welcome to another episode of Around the Grounds of the Property Baron. I'm Jason Barron. Each week I'm joined by Nick Meredith, our man on the ground in Brisbane, and Hugo Fonseca, who leads the Property Baron Invest and on the ground in the Central Coast, New South Wales. This is where we catch up, share what we're seeing around the grounds. No headlines, just real conversations, real insights on what's actually happening on the ground. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, fellas. Down there in New South Wales, both of you. I'm flying the flag up here in Queensland. Nice sunny day up here for Saturday morning, which is game day for us. So, yeah, big day ahead.
2 game days this week, Wednesday as well.
Oh, yeah, well, that one will be easy.
Yeah.
I think we might have seen the Blues on the Central Coast today, actually.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I think they might be up here. It's a bit sunnier down here as well, Nick, just so you know, than in Queensland.
It's very sunny here today, mate. It's the clouds have gone away. It's back to perfect Brisbane weather.
How are you looking for today, Nick? It is Saturday, different day to what we usually do this, but just about ready for a big day.
Yeah, it is a big day. It's the Ray White Collective. They got their in-house auction day this morning, running through about 16 under the hammer. So we'll go and have a look in there. There's a couple that we've got some interest in for a client, but we're not ready to go to auction conditions. So we'll go and have a look, just see how they go. It's a good way to gauge the market, just to see not only how many pass, how many sell, but also just how many registered bidders there are and what sort of activity. So yeah, I'll go and have a look there for an hour or so and then duck out and try and get through, around 10 properties, which is pretty much our Saturdays. Between 10 and 15, we try and get through. Saturdays rush by pretty quick.
With the auction clearance rate trending down in recent weeks and months now, it'd be interesting to see how today goes if they've got a big auction day planned.
Yeah, they've got 16 going under the hammer, which is a little less than normal on these days. So I'm suspecting they're being a little bit strategic and they're just probably going to run through the ones that they think they've got a good chance of selling. So at least we know the Ray White model is auction. So if they can still show everyone that they're getting good clearance rates, they can still go down the path that they want to go. So I'm pretty sure that's what they'll be doing.
Yeah, very good. And what about you, Hugo? What's been happening in your space?
Mate, looking forward to a big day down here on the Central Coast as well. With you down here, it'll be great to go around a few open homes, see if we can beat the company record for inspection numbers on one day, Nick. You said 10 to 15, so we'll see. We might be able to go over that 15 mark today, but it's all about just seeing all the amazing homes that are available down here for our clients. We went and did a bit of a drive around yesterday, Jason, as you know. And when you live here, you appreciate it, but it's when you're showing it to other people, whether it's yourself or clients, that you really realize how great we've got it down here. You got absolutely everything, all types of properties, all types of lifestyles, and all within a few minutes of each other. It's incredible. So yeah, looking forward to a big day today.
Pretty amazing, really. Yeah, like you said, I'm down here visiting for the day. And you did give me a good tour of the Central Coast and the markets that we're buying in, through that Terrigal, Boca Beach. What else do we go? Copacabana. It was a really nice stretch.
Oh, Wambrel.
Yeah. A really nice stretch. It's really interesting. Some really nice beaches and bays and, our headlands and our outcrops and things. It's just a really, really nice spot. And a bit like what us up at Noosa and the Sunshine Coast, we're taking for granted a little bit because we're there all the time. But coming here and getting the tour, I was quite impressed with different types of properties on offer as well, different areas. Really nice.
Yeah. And you'll get to meet a lot of the fantastic agents we've got here as well, especially in that top end market today as well, which, really good to work with.
Very good. What's happening in the investment space?
Quietly optimistic, to be honest. I mean, I always have been. Every week I've been saying that all of these things will pass at some stage and we'll get back to normal. Yeah, over the last few days, a week or so, we've started to see a few of the banks lower their fixed rates, which is interesting. Normally when they do that, it's because they're expecting rates to go down at some stage. So they're obviously trying to get their clients to lock in some fixed rates that are going to be higher at some stage than what the variable rate will end up being. They did the same about 3 months ago before the rate hikes, where they started increasing their fixed rates. So we're going the opposite direction now. We've had Commonwealth and NAB, and I think a third one out of the big four now. Those were the first two, but I think a third one's come out as well, saying that the rate hikes are over and they're expecting them to be on hold until early next year, second quarter of next year or so. So yeah, the worst may be behind us, but even if it's not, these sorts of news will start trickling through into the media and will start bringing back sentiment into the market. and people start coming back in. If anyone's been thinking, umming and ahhing, or been on the sidelines waiting for certainty to get into the market, I'll say it again. Now is the time. There's increased listings, there's more supply, and there's a really good opportunity to get into the market before everyone else comes back in, because they will.
Yeah, well, we've noticed over the last week, we've had quite a few clients come on across the board in the owner-occupier space and also the investment space as well. So I think the smart people out there are thinking, you know what, this might be the opportunity to get in and make a decision to get serious about their buying while everyone else is sitting on their hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think also something I've been reflecting on, I've been speaking to a few of our broker partners, and they're essentially all saying the same thing. They're seeing a slower market, less investment inquiries, a lot of people refinancing, some possibly fixing rates. But the problem is this slower market impacts the broker industry as well, right? They have lower volumes. They don't have those investors coming in, and a lot of them are still keen, but the feedback that the brokers are getting from those clients is that they're just waiting. They're just going to hold off for a little bit. They want more certainty. They want to know what's going to happen with the budget, whether it passes or not, what's happening with rates, et cetera, et cetera.
Look, personally, I think if you're in the owner occupier market, it's the best market we've had to be in for certainly in the last 12 months. I've probably got more off markets available than we've had at any time in the last 12 months. So yeah, there's some really good opportunities out there. There's still competition out there, but in certain areas of the market, it is less competitive, and there's a chance to do some deals, some real negotiations, and get some great outcomes for our clients. I think this is as good a time as it's been. And I think there's a little bit of a window now, the next couple of months. Winter's normally a little bit slower. So I think if anyone was thinking about it, I think the next 2-3 months are going to be a really good opportunity for people.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, just thinking about what you just said, the reality is there's definitely been a slowdown. In some markets, prices are obviously going backwards and dropping a bit. But the increase in listings and a lot of people that are selling at the moment is probably due to a couple of reasons. One, it might be that they're starting to feel the pinch in terms of interest rates, etc. Or two, it may be part of the fear and the panic that a lot of the media is creating. So they might be thinking, okay, we've reached the peak. They're going to come down. I need to try and capitalize on this now and just cash out. But if prices start going down a little bit over the next few weeks, months, at some stage, all of these people that are trying to sell now to capitalize on the peak of the market, let's call it, if it goes down a little bit further, they might just go, oh, you know what? It's gone down too far. Now I don't want to sell at all. I'm just going to hold. So we might end up with less listings in the future. So it is a perfect window where you've got more listings now and a lot less buyers out there. At some stage, some buyers will start coming back in and some sellers will start holding off selling because they might have seen the prices go down a little bit. But the other day, thinking about drops in prices and people being so scared, I saw a figure and the forecast that was really interesting. If we go back 10% this is using a national median house price, right? But if we go back 10%, we'll be at 2025 prices. So we'll just go back a year. We're not going back decades. It's not going to go back to the prices that someone wanted 5 years ago. It's a year, and then it starts going back up. So there's no point in waiting, to be honest.
If we have a 10% price drop, it'll be a massive, massive deal, and the media will talk about all the doom and gloom and make it sound crazy. But you're right, it's not a big deal. It's probably actually good for the market going backwards. Just coming back to what you said, Nick, it's pretty exciting at the moment with all the off markets that are coming to us across Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast in particular. We've got a lot of agents calling us with listings that are thinking about coming on, but probably just hesitating. I reckon if anyone is thinking about coming on with us, it's probably the best time to come on since I can remember for that part of, I guess, the value of what we offer, getting those off-market ones. On the Sunshine Coast, we're still seeing people either bring their properties on the market or keep them on the market at a really high price and just kind of watching them sit there. We're watching the agents try and negotiate with us pretty hard on some particular properties at a price point that just doesn't make sense because it's probably 10 to 15% over where it should be valued still. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next little while if people do start adjusting their prices and coming down and meeting the market, or if they continue to hold firm at those high prices. Either way, we're getting some good deals for our clients at the moment. So I think it's a great time for us to be in business doing what we do.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been looking for a client in around the New Farm area. For anyone that knows that, it's in a city fringe in Brisbane, in a really tightly held and high value suburb. And there's been a couple of properties over the last 2 weeks that have sat on the market for a little bit of time, a little bit unrealistically priced, and they've disappeared. They've gone off the market. but they are available off market. So the clients are, the sellers are saying, listen, we just don't want it sitting there for months, but it is available. We are still wanting to sell. We just don't want it sitting there looking like, then everyone, after it's been there for a few weeks, people start to wonder what's wrong with the property in Brisbane at the moment. The good ones are still going relatively quickly. So if you're sitting there a month, 6 weeks, then particularly in a suburb like that, that's tightly held, word starts to get around and people go, well, there must be something wrong with that one. Let's move on to the next. So yeah, a little bit of strategy with some of the agents there. And yeah, just reinforcing that with the off markets that 6 months ago, 3 months ago, we were calling, trying to find them. Now agents are calling us, telling them, hey, have you got anyone for this? So it's pivoted a bit, which is great for us and our clients for sure.
This is where the really good sales agents shine through. I've been working with a couple in particular, and it's been refreshing to see some of the conversations they've been having with me as well, in terms of realizing and just being transparent and upfront about the fact that the gap in expectations has not been this large for a long time, in terms of where the vendors are at for what they want price wise and what the buyers are thinking. The buyers are hoping the prices will come to them and will come down to them. The vendors are still hoping that they get the prices from 2 months ago. And that's where really good sales agents come in. They need to manage those expectations. And if someone's needing to sell, they need to sell at the right price for that market. And they need to understand what the reality is. Vendors don't understand what's happening in the market in most cases. That's the agent's job to help inform them. And I'm seeing a couple, or more than a couple, some really good agents that are working hard to do that and get a good outcome for their client without it sitting on the market for a really long time, like you said.
Yeah, but on that point though, we are working across quite a few different markets, right? So that's not a blanket thing.
Yeah.
Definitely in some sections of the market. Some other parts of the market, particularly entry level, Noosaville to Wanton, super competitive. You're not going to much off whatever they're trying to get for it there. But yeah, I agree, Hugo. Some other markets, and we're hearing it coming out of the southern markets in New South Wales and Queensland, that there is a pretty big price adjustment where asking prices are dropping by 10% to meet the market. We're not seeing that in southeast Queensland at all from what I can see, particularly through Sunshine Coast and Noosa. Yes, they are meeting the market a little bit, but yeah, not as much as a doom and gloom that we're hearing from down south. I don't know about Brizzy.
No, Brizzy's the same, Jason. I mean, we're still getting net migration into the area. There's still a real shortage of housing. It's just simple supply and demand. I think smart people also realise if you do buy and sell in the same market, well, you're not necessarily disadvantaged anyway. So, if you're going to transact while things are the same, you might as well just go ahead and keep going. But yeah, look, there's no shortage of demand here in Brisbane that I've seen. Might have a little bit, but you go to open homes that will go through today, particularly ones that have just come on the market, and I'm pretty confident they'll be busy, as they always are. So, particularly on a nice sunny day, that usually gets everyone out. So no doom and gloom here in Brisbane, from my point of view. It's
well quite the opposite on that point, Nick. Quite the opposite with our business. We've just brought on a couple of, 3 or 4 buyers in the prestige market over just the last week across the business, which is consistent with, a pretty decent market. So, and that's 4-5 million plus right up to 15. But, from a business point of view, we're sitting in a really good position. It's really, really nice to see that buyers are coming on in the owner-occupier space and the investment space. We're obviously doing something right, which has been good, because if the buyers are coming on, we can represent them even better and even stronger at the moment with the market softening, mostly due to probably the confidence in the market. But if we can sort of take advantage of that with our clients to get better outcomes, happy days.
Absolutely. 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
No, it's time to get out there and get amongst it. Saturday morning, strap the boots on. Let's go.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Spotify, Around the Grounds. See you next time.